Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and talk about practical number 8 instead of our introduction to statistical analysis in Python series. So if you're anybody who is interested in doing data analysis, wants to learn the basics of statistics in Pandas using Python, so you can perform data analysis on different data types, then this course is for you. And this course we're going to go over and talk about the different ways you can perform different analysis in Pandas, in using Pandas, right? So we have done these measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, and all of the basic stuff. So now I'm moving into a type of analysis called the bivariate analysis. Okay, so let's look at what we have. So we have a question here which is called calculate the scatter plot of between the marketing spend and the profit variables. Okay, so now what's bivariate analysis, by the way, before we even begin? So bivariate analysis is when you're performing analysis between exactly two variables. So if you have two variables, in this case marketing spend and the profit, right? That's exactly two variables, exactly two, right? That is a bivariate analysis. If it's more than three, then that's not a bivariate analysis. So if it's exactly two, then it's a bivariate analysis. If it's less than one, then it is not bivariate analysis. But if it's exactly two, then it is a bivariate analysis, right? And we talked about all this in the previous tutorials. Okay, so if you haven't checked them out, feel free to go back and check them out. Okay, so once we've done that, let's look at bivariate analysis and talk about what a scatter plot is, because that's what we are trying to plot here, right? So let's look at what a scatter plot is and let's jump into the solution. So a scatter plot is a type of graph used when performing bivariate analysis of data to reveal the relation between two variables. So when we have two variables, right, and you want to see the relation between the two variables, whether it's a linear relationship, whether there is no linear relationship existing between the two variables, then the best graph to use in this case, or the best plot to use, is a scatter plot. So it can be used to answer different questions, such as do two variables have a relationship, like which kind of relationship they have. If it's a linear relationship, is it a strong linear relationship, or is it a weak linear relationship? What type of relationship exists between the two variables, whether it's a linear or a non-linear relationship. And then also it can be used to detect outliers inside of data. Okay, so linear relationship. So linear relationship is said to be a relationship is said to be a linear if changes in independent variable or changes in the x-axis variables, right, lead to an equal and a proportionate change in the dependent or the y variables. So that's basically what a linear relationship is. So if there's a change in the x-axis, then that change should lead to an equal or a proportionate change instead of the y-axis. If that's the case, then we can say that the graph is the relationship is both a linear relationship. These relationships form a straight line, basically a linear, right? Linear stands for a line, so linear relationships form a straight line. So a relationship that does not follow a linear relationship is what we call a non-linear relationship. Okay, with assumptions that increase in the let's take an example. Let's say that let's take an assumption with an assumption that increase in the fuel percentage, a vehicle can travel further, right? So the more fuel the car has, the further it can travel, right? So that's a linear relation between the fuel and the distance that the car can travel. An increase in the fuel by 10% means the car should be able to travel 10% more in distance, right? Let's take an assumption that other factors don't affect fuel consumption. Okay, so this is basically an example of a linear relationship, right? Okay, and if you have done high school, or you remember anything from high school, then we have this famous equation or famous formula: y equals to mx plus b, right? So that's mx plus c, or anything that you have it, but basically it follows this relationship, and that is the formula for a linear relationship. And it's very important, if you start doing machine learning, there's linear regression, and I have tutorials on machine learning talking about linear regression on my channel, so you can check that out if you're interested. So if you have anything to do with linear relationships, then you can use this formula and apply this formula to it. So let's look at the solution. So let's go back to the question and look at what we have to do. So this practical 8, and it says calculate a scatter plot of between the marketing spend and the profit. Okay, so let me just go back into our data right here. So here I'm going to go ahead down here, and I'm going to create a text cell, and I'm just going to call this this is going to be bivariate rate analysis. okay, and then run that. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and do the scatter plot. So before we do that, we are going to be dealing with the marketing spend variable and the profit variable. In our current data set, we don't have those two columns, so I'm going to be using another data set, and I'm going to say it's going to be pd.read. So I'm going to read in another data set, and it's going to be CSV, and the data set is going to be https, and then you're going to say /, and you're going to say bit .ly, and then /. I should have just copied this somewhere, but start up data set, just like that. So that's basically it, and once we have it ready, we can simply go ahead and do pd df, right, df.head, just like that, df.head, and simply run it right here. Okay, let me see. It says http error not found, so we can't get this. So let me just check if I get the URL right. So this is https : and then bit.ly / start up. Okay, it's start apps and not start apps. So start apps, I should have copied this somewhere, but yeah, it's fine. So once we have the data set, it looks like this. So we want to calculate this. I want to plot the scatter plot of the marketing spend and the profit, right? Like how much they spend marketing and how much profit you get. So this data set is just for different startups and all their information, like how much they spend on marketing, how much profit they got, the administrative cost, the R&D cost, and all of that. So we're just going to plot. They're going to try to see the relation between the marketing spend and the profit that was gained by the startup. Okay. So what to do this is actually very simple. So I'm going to go ahead here, select this, and I'm going to make a text cell below it, and I'm just going to go ahead and say sorry, this is going to be pressing the wrong key. So it's going to be a scatter plot. So scatter plot, and then just run that. So in here, what you're going to do is you're going to simply create a figure using Matplotlib. So I'm going to say plt.figure. So make sure you have Matplotlib installed or imported rather, because you're on Google Colab, everything is pre-installed already. So we're going to go ahead and say 6x6 figure. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to say df.plot, and you're going to say .scatter, right? And you're going to simply say the x is going to be the marketing spend, and the y is going to go ahead and be the profit, right? So y is going to be the profit. That's all. And then from there I can do a plt sorry, I'm just going to undo that, and down here I'm going to do a plt.title, and the title is going to be as follows. So the title is going to be a scatter plot of age and credit, no, scatter plot of not age, sorry, my bad. So this will be scatter plot of marketing spend and profit, just like that. And then you're going to do a plt.show at last. So plt.show to show that graph. So once I run that, now you can see we have the scatter plot right here. So that answers our question of what a scatter plot is, and you have been able to draw a scatter plot. So that's basically it. Now let's look at the assignment that I have for you guys, so because you can practice more. And before we go, let me ask you, which kind of relationship do you think this is? Is it a linear relationship or is it not a linear relationship? Now this question, I'm not going to answer it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Is it a linear relationship or is not a linear relationship? So that can be a bit of assignment too as well. So let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so now that you have looked at those, let's go ahead and look at the assignment. So the assignment is simply plot a scatter plot of between the R&D spend and the profit variable. So that's going to be your assignment, along with telling me if this graph right here is has a positive relationship or has a negative relationship. Basically, if marketing spend and profit have a linear relationship or a non-linear relationship. So there are different types of linear relationships. There can be a strong, a weak, and also let me know in the comment section below the number of times, the number of types of linear relationships that we have. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically it, and let's go back to the assignment, and you can just pause this and then take down a note of the assignment and then do it. Let me know which type of relationship you get when after doing this after you perform this analysis. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it for this video. So see you in the next one. And next we're going to be doing with correlations and coefficients. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Keep safe.